I'm 25 years old.
That's nice. Very classy. It's okay.
We can almost drink coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 25 years old. I come from Finland, the central part of it, and I'm
Close to?
close to Kokkola.
Yay!
The very nice city in the world. Yeah, I study special education in university. It's my 4th year now. But I've been struggling with my studies quite a lot, so I'm not sure if I want to do like the teacher thing in future. It's yeah, so I came to Porto and I thought that I would want to do something different. What did I say?
About your studies.
About studies. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to graduate from my studies. So that's the reason why I came to Porto and now I study musical education here.
What time did you start at university?
Sorry?
In Greece, for example, university is 4 years usually.
Yeah.
But we go straight after school. Like when if we don't go at 18,
You're not going anymore.
yes, we cannot go later.
Okay. Usually in Finland we start like after the high school, but some people might take some time. Like I had 3 years in between when I was working and I couldn't get into the schools where I wanted to go.
So what work were you doing?
I was working as a waitress and then I did the teacher substitute job.
You were living with your parents?
No, I lived alone. I have moved away from my parents when I was 16. I went to the high school in different city.
This is an interesting point.
Ah.
In Greece, we live from our mothers when we are 35.
Yeah.
And if we get married. If we
Yeah.
don't get married, we just stay forever.
You stay. That's good. Also. No. But in Portugal, people live with their parents quite late.
Yeah. I told you we're very similar. I feel like
Yeah.
home here. I just feel like home.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You have to come to Greece.
I have to.
Yes, you will love it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like here. First of all, the word forbidden doesn't exist. Everything that is forbidden, no, actually, the word forbidden has no meaning because what is not forbidden, we do it. When it's what is forbidden, we do it. But it's just forbidden.
Nobody cares.
Yes, just nobody cares about everything. This at some points is bad, of course, and some other points is good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, so many rules for me sometimes it's like pointless. Understand?
Yeah. I understand. Because in Finland also we are sometimes we're like, oh, they have the fucking rules. And,
Yeah.
But they exist for a reason, I think. But there's good and bad sides to everything. I guess,
I want to tell you about the alcohol that we said before that you said about the portions.
Yes, like if it goes according to the law, the bar man is allowed to sell you only one portion of alcohol at a time.
Yes.
So you can only buy alcohol for yourself.
Yes.
So if you want to order whiskey, then you get the whiskey
Yes.
and nothing else. But usually they sell more because it's easier and faster. But like he sold you the whiskey cola and then 2 shots. It's illegal. He shouldn't have done it. So.
Perfect.
But it's like it's easier, I think, that way.
And I think, I'm not sure, but I think that in the supermarket, how much is the bottle of alcohol?
In supermarket we only sell like beer and cider and that kind of stuff. We don't sell wine and like the harder stuff.
Really?
Yeah. You have to go. We have a different kind of shop for that.
Okay. If you go to this kind of shop,
Yeah.
the alcohol shop, how much is the bottle?
Wine bottle is
No, like whiskey.
Whiskey. I never buy whiskey, but I assume that it's like 18 euros at least.
Eight-
5, 15, 18 at
18
least. Like
euros.
the, yeah.
18. No.
18. But it can be also 80 if it's like very good whiskey.
Yeah, but
80.
so, what is your opinion that in bar it's forbidden to take a second portion?
Yeah.
But you can find it in a bottle.
Yeah.
So cheap. What is the explanation? Your explanation, just
My
about
explanation.
this phenomenon. Because for me it was weird. It's like you say to the people, just buy bottles of alcohol and go drink at home.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But
what we do.
you can, yes, but you cannot enjoy in a club. With
Yeah,
friends.
yeah, it's stupid actually. I think now they are trying to change it a little bit so that people would come to the clubs and like outside of their homes, because there's really big issue in Finland about alcoholism. Because people drink home and that's too much. We usually, if we go out, we like start at home. We drink as much as we can before we go to the bar because it's so expensive to buy the drinks there. So we are already drunk when we go to the bar, and then we buy like one drink. But it's stupid because if our government wants to like regulate the consuming of alcohol, then we should be in the bars and they are drinking it.
Yeah.
And somebody could watch over like, yeah, you're not technically safe. No more alcohol for you. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you make it sound now very strange. Yeah, and I think it helps a lot with your decisions when you are in a different environment with different people. And I think already I've been in Portugal 1 month, and I have met so inspiring people already because people have so different backgrounds and dreams and everything what they do. So it's good.
And what else? I will ask you many things about Finland.
Yes.
Because I have curiosity, and I know that this part of Europe it's a bit different than the other parts.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, I could say that not for me, but generally they say, yes, it's okay, take it. That Mediterranean people are different from Middle European people. Like Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal have more similarities about the people and the way they live, the way they behave.
Yes.
And other countries like Germany, Poland, and Danish.
Danish, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dutch.
Dutch,
Yeah.
yeah. More different, but I know that how is the name of these three countries?
Sorry?
How is the name of these three countries?
You mean Nordic countries or the ones you just said?
No, your country
My country.
and your neighbors.
Nordic countries, yeah.
Okay,
Nordic,
yeah,
yes.
these.
Yes.
I know that there are more differences. So we will talk about the cultural differences at first part.
Okay. Okay. So you want to know what's like different between Nordic countries and the other European countries?
Yes, according to you. No, better. I can tell you some stereotypes.
Yes.
And
Good.
and you can tell me your opinion and about your experience.
Yes.
Which of that are true or not true, or just your opinion about
Yeah.
it. Well, I know that I have a mouse in my coffee, but I don't even care. Yeah, that you have a good organization. The system like works. I've heard that in Finland they have the best educational system in all over the world. Is it true?
At least we claim that. Yeah. The like the ability to organize things seems to be much better here in Finland. Like for example here, like yeah, everything works. We don't have to wait 6 hours in a day to get our metro card like downloaded. No, like never. We can do it online or somewhere.
Yeah.
It would be crazy not to have it, and here we have to do it. Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about school a little bit.
It's
I mean, you remember your days at school?
Yes.
How
Yeah,
was it? The good things, the bad things, the I don't know.
I think the best thing in schools.
Can you speak a little bit louder because
Yes.
this has not good sound?
Okay, I try. Yeah, I think the best thing that what we are like ahead of other countries is the system that everybody goes to school and we try to keep it like really equal, like in every way when we go to school. And kids with like special needs and normal kids are in the same places, and we try to make it as good as possible to everybody to attend. And the school days are not so, they're quite short. Come to the picture.
Me?
Yeah.
Nicoletta the professional.
Yes. That's a nice picture. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that we don't spend a lot of time in school. We are like, the little kids are in school like 4 hours a day or something like that, and then we don't have a lot of homework. As in, like in China, they spend like 10 hours in the school and then they have so much work after it. So they don't really do anything else. But in the Finnish school system, we believe that kids have to do something else than study also, and that everything else is also something that they need to develop, and there's other stuff also.
And
it
I've
helps.
heard that you don't have a lot of homework.
No.
And you don't have exams until some age, or this is wrong?
I'm not sure about that anymore.
Ah, okay.
And I can't remember if I had exams when I was like in the first grade or the second, but at least in the third grade I think we had exams, but I don't know nowadays.
Okay. And the other thing that I have heard is that people have a lot of depression and a big suicide amount.
Yes.
And I'm really curious because I mean, if that country is, do you mind because I speak of the three countries?
Yes.
You don't have a problem. I mean.
No.
And I speak like that because I have this knowledge about both the three countries.
Yeah.
I don't know some specific difference. No, I know from Finnish schools, for example, but generally for the other countries too. How is that good? That good system make a good life, right? And the good salaries, the good system of working, the good education. It is supposed to make a good life.
That is true.
So how do you explain? And from your experience also, I'm very curious to learn. Is that true about the depression and the suicide?
It is.
How do you explain that?
That's a very good question, actually. But like the first thing that comes now in my mind and what I've been thinking a lot is that in Finland, like families and people, they are not very close to each other. You know, like we moved so early from our homes, like from our parents. We are not really close. We don't know how to speak about our feelings. We don't touch each other. We don't really hug or anything. So, like in common, in general, of course, some people do that. So I think it's something that can cause things like that, like depression and. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question, but I think that might be something.
You don't like this about your country?
Sorry?
You don't like this about your country, or you just noticed it?
I have noticed it, and maybe I don't. Yeah, I think I would prefer if we would be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I mean, you as a person, how have you experienced that? All the years that you were staying, working with your friends, with your boyfriends, maybe with your family. What you would like to change, or what problems caused you like more personally? Because I can tell you after 4 Greece, for example.
Yeah.
you want. You can think, take your time.
I think you have hard questions. That's good. That's very good. You mean what I would like to change? Yeah.
Or if you have a bad experience with your friends or with your relationships, you yes, you think that this created you like problems in personal.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that it's the same answer than for the other question. That is the ability not to talk about the feelings. That's like usually the main problems if I have any problems in my relationships with anybody is that people don't know how to talk about their feelings, so they don't want to piss anybody off, or they want to be. It's easier not to talk than to talk.
Yeah.
I think all over the world, but in Finland, particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I think also there's the circle in life that you're supposed to do. That you go to the primary school and then you go to high school or vocational school and then you still maybe study something more in university or polytechnics, and then you have to right away you have to go to school or not go to work and then start your 40-year long working career, or if you are a woman then you have to have a family soon and then you have to raise the kids and be like a good person in that level. And it's still like very very not common to be in that way if you get out of that circle and do something else. And you are not encouraged to do that, anything different.
Yeah. But are people close-minded in your country?
Actually, I would say that not in general. No, I think I have the most closed-minded people I have met have been from somewhere else than in Finland.
But let's speak about the term close-minded, because you say that they are open-minded to what? To which what issues they are open-minded?
Yeah. For like differences between people, I think.
The color, they are not racist. They don't have.
Yeah, I don't think Finnish people in general are racist, and not like when we have like, for example, infrastructuring the cities. There's always somebody who thinks about like how disabled people can walk and move and go through the buildings. I mean, like maybe that's also some
With,
kind of open.
for example, African people or immigrants, you are open.
Depends. Depends a lot about the people. In general, yes, because we feel like we have to help because we are if like refugees come or something like that. Because we think we have such a system that we afford to help people. But then I think Finnish people like that if you come from a Western country, you are better than from another country like Africa.
So that belief exists.
Yeah, of course. I think everywhere. But yeah, they don't.
Homosexuality?
Yeah, it's alright.
It's alright.
It's alright, yes.
But if people are open-minded, then why you say that it's weird for someone to break the cycle and to do something different?
I think it depends on the subject. Yeah. Yeah, and the place you live probably. There are so small places in Finland that people are very very close-minded.
Yeah.
Think that anything different would be nice, but yeah, I think it depends on the cycle you want to break. It's like the homosexuality thing. I think homosexuality was considered as a disease still in 70s in Finland, 80s actually. Yeah, but it's been like a very fast transform today. For today when it's legal to get married when you're homosexual.
Yeah. So I will ask something that it's my thoughts.
Yes.
if from the way you describe me, the situation, people are open-minded because they are open to hug new ideas, or they seem open-minded because they really don't care. Because I think there's a difference. For example, in Greece, this is bad, but we think that anything it's our business.
Yeah.
What the person in the next table does, it's our business.
Yeah.
This is bad because it's not really our business,
Yeah.
but we want to put our nose like everywhere.
Yeah.
So this is why we want to have an opinion on everything.
Yes.
Even it's far, far away from us,
Yeah.
even if we cannot understand it.
Yeah, I think that like mostly I'm very glad about the changes that has happened here, and I feel like I feel like really like open-minded and free to do whatever I want to, and try new things, and I think I'm more willing to live, like try things and go out and meet people, and it's easy because everybody is in the same mood here.
Yeah, that's great what you say.
Yeah.
Do you think that traveling more would be better for your people?
I think yes, it would be very good. Yeah.
And about what we said before, you think, and also your experience, you think that if other people were trying the way to live with, to have more interaction with other people and be more open,
Yes.
it would help them, or they wouldn't notice?
I think it would help. Definitely.
On first place, you think they would just find it weird, or they would like it because there's a difference?
Yeah. I think that at first, of course, you would find it very weird. If you haven't done anything like that, then you don't know what to talk about. And we don't have in Finland. We don't have the small talk culture at all.
This?
Like small talk culture that if we speak usually something like something that matters.
For example, what matters?
Like, well, about your life or work or something like serious topics, or like, and if you meet like a stranger, it's very awkward usually because you don't know what to say, and it's like, nice weather, yes it is. Yeah, but I think it would be very good for Finnish people to like see how people everywhere else like discuss and how the way they are with other people, like in contact, and how it's not so weird if somebody like touches you or is close, and yeah, I think it would be good. Because like you said, that in Finland there's like a lot of depression and suicide things, and there's also a lot of loneliness, that people are very lonely. So I think it's based on that people don't really know how to interact, like where to find somebody who they would want to talk.
Cuties! Now the way you speak to me, I want to go to Finland and just hug everybody and kiss them and talk to them. Yeah.
I think I make it sound very horrible now. I hope I'm not like too yeah.
What?
I hope that I don't make it sound worse than it is, but it's like, it's a reality.
Yeah, but for me it sounds horrible, but it's because my whole culture is exactly the opposite.
Yes.
And me personally, it's I'm exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
Because, of course, you can find outgoing and more shy people everywhere on the planet.
Yeah, of course.
And I have friends from Greece that they are very close, they are very shy, they are very quiet. I mean, not all Greeks are louders, but I think I'm a representative sample of my country, because I'm very outgoing and very open, and I like very much the human I want people in my life and friends to say all of my problems and cry on their shoulders and hug and kiss and all the time. So That's why for me it sounds very bad. Because
Yeah.
for me it's like, I don't know, a nightmare, really.
Yeah.
It sounds like hell.
Yeah.
But there are some other people, also in Greece, that's they don't like all this outgoing culture.
Yeah.
And they, yes, if you touch them very much, they get pissed
Yeah.
because they want more their personal space.
Yeah.
They want more to be quiet.
Yeah.
Not some all the time
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
with people and you know.
Yeah.
So it depends also on the people.
Yeah.
Let's don't blame the Finnish for everything.
Yeah, no, but it's like I met this one Italian guy in summer in Finland. He moved to Finland and he works there, and he said that it's pretty hard to get to know people
Yeah.
because in Italy he just goes out and he meets new people. and in Finland you really have to have like a purpose to meet somebody. People don't like if you are on the street and somebody comes to talk to you. It's like why? Like,
Yeah.
it's not normal.
I know,
Because we
I-
want the space.
I've experienced that.
Yeah.
It was my first experience from Finland, and I told you. And what? But you say that there are families.
Families?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is good. I
Yes.
think.
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
And but how people meet each other to make relationships
Usually in a bar.
in a bar.
or
But how they speak to each other? They start speaking.
yeah, they just start speaking something nonsense. I think. Yeah. Or in like many people I know have met like in school. That they are friends from the school and
Yeah.
they just have connected there and then they start a relationship and.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you generally have friendships from school. You make strong friendships. You make many friendships, little friendships. How it's the friendship style works.
Well, it depends of course on people. I think like I don't know. It's hard to speak for everyone, but I think that the Finnish way of being friends is like that you get very close with the people who you are like very close. You don't have you might have many friends, but they are all not that good friends.
Mm-hmm.
And like I personally like that I have a few very close friends who I can talk to and anything and can be like all myself. But then I don't have that many friends who I just go to coffee and talk something like not that personal or
Yeah.
yeah. I think there's also like a saying for it that Finns are very very good friends. If you can like connect a Finn very well in a very good level, then you will be friends for a lifetime.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I think it's like that mostly.
In Greece, we say that I don't agree, but we say that we don't need a psychologist because we have good friends.
Yeah.
I totally disagree because many times friends can put you in a worse place
Yeah.
that you already are.
That's
Because to be your friends, they have the same perspective as you, so they can make the things worse. But what is your opinion about that?
Well, I think that there is I think kind of the same way that there is the limit where your friends can go.
Yeah.
And if you're like too deep in your waters, whatever they are, then you need a psychologist or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, your friends can't fix anything. Like everything. Like they help a lot, but not. They can't cure you.
Yeah.
Like really problems.
And do you ever had depression?
Sorry?
Do you ever had depression? No?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. How was it?
It was very bad,
Yeah.
and it was after my parents divorced
Yeah.
when I was 12,
Okay.
and yeah, it was very bad. And I wanted to say, actually, you can tell me your opinion about some other countries or some other cultures, and after I will say this. So from what I say, or from what you have heard, or from the people you have met so far, what's your opinion about some specific countries?
Of other countries?
Yes. No, let's do the opposite. You tell me, for example, your opinion about Greece, from what you have experienced, or from the people you have met, or a good or bad, and I can tell you if it's true or not.
Yeah, I don't actually know a lot about Greece. Seriously, I have met maybe three persons from Greece, but the one who I met and who I really got to know better, he was very polite, a very nice guy, but he moved to Finland to study, and we met like that. He was a beer fanatic, but he told like I think that what I think about Greece is that you are not that organized country at the moment, and I have heard
we will never be, darling.
Probably not. And you have, what you told also, that you have to move away if you want to have a career or something like that. But I know it's very beautiful and warm, and you get a lot of money from tourism. I don't know a lot. And yet you're very close with your family. Yeah.
I wanted to say on that point that it's weird because it's exactly the opposite from what we were talking about Finland.
Yeah.
That also this thing can cause a lot of problems, and some of the problems that I had in my life was especially from that bones. Yeah, I don't know the right word, but okay. Because I had these problems, and after in my teenage and so on, I have good relations with my parents.
Yes.
But with my mother, for example, and I think generally Greek mothers, especially because we are closer than we should, or for more time that we need to, we still have some opposite problems because. And it's also now at this time I have read a lot of psychology, and many psychologists say that in Greece we have the syndrome of the Greek family building. I don't know how's the name of not a house, a house with many floors. How's the name?
I don't actually know.
Yes, we have that syndrome because usually we have like a building, and on the first floor live the parents. On the second floor, the one child with its family. The other, and it's all the building. It's with one family. And psychologists say that we baptize. Oh fuck! I don't remember the words. How's the opposite of independent?
I don't know. I don't know what's the word, but I know what's the opposite of independent.
Yes, but we have to find the word.
Needy.
Needy. What do you do with drugs? You are addicted.
Addicted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We say that we name the addiction. We call it love.
Yeah.
And we make such strong bonds. So we don't really let young people be individual as much as they should. And so we don't let them grow, we don't let them be strong or be free enough with their minds or everything. And this also causes problems.
Yeah.
Because you make people who are not responsible, who are not mature enough.
Yes.
And they have other kind of problems when they grow up.
Yeah.
Because if you're 30 years old and you don't feel complete by yourself, then you have other kind of problems.
Yes.
And you always want people to be around you or to help you with your problems, and you're not able to manage nothing by yourself.
Yeah.
This is a problem
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
So
of course.
I have an idea. We can mix half Finnish people and half Greek people and live together, so they will teach each other some stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's a very good idea. I'm looking forward to seeing that house, like Serrano family or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion and discussions.
I will tell you some words and you will tell me your thoughts about it.
Okay, what the
Just
word?
whatever comes in your mind.
Okay.
A feeling, a thought, another word, just anything.
Okay.
So I say freedom.
I say blue sky and sea.
Okay. Home.
Home is something where is a good people, those people who you love.
Traveling.
Like fun and excitement and exploring, getting pissed off and but still being in a good mood. But still being in a good mood.
Friends.
Love and laughter.
Family.
Something that always backs you down, backs you up. I don't know how to say that. It's there for you always.
Okay. And new cultures.
New cultures. Just getting to know things and being interested of different things.
And I would say different.
Something you're not used to that, but might be very good.
Okay. Thank you. So, what lost home made you a traveler?
I was studying economics at university, and all I wanted to do was graduate school so that I could run away and be a wanderer and do different jobs. So basically, I realized I don't need a degree to do the jobs, the kind of work that I want to do. So
What kind of work did you want?
I just wanted to do anything: construction, teaching, sailing, music, whatever. But nothing that you really need, in advance. I didn't want to be an astrophysicist. And studying economics, all the jobs that you get with that are office jobs, mostly. And I didn't want to sit in front of a computer. So I just left. I left, and I didn't have any money, so I hitchhiked to Alaska because I heard that fishing in Alaska you could make a lot of money very quickly. So I from Massachusetts, I hitchhiked all the way across Canada, about 3,000 miles. It's about 5,000 kilometers.
In what age?
20.
20. But before we started from 16, that you were unhappy in high school.
Yeah, but I kind of skipped all that because that was just like the prequel, when I really started.
No, it's okay. You can say the prequel also with a few words.
Okay, so the prequel is essentially I went to Argentina to get away from, because I was very shy and antisocial when I first started school.
Oh, really?
I was homeschooled. It's a thing in the United States. I don't think it happens often in Europe, but my mother didn't send me to school with the other kids. She taught me at home with my sister. So
Interesting.
when I went to school, I didn't know how to behave around other kids. You know, I didn't have social skills. So I was kind of bullied and teased, and so I just wanted to leave. So I went to Argentina. In Argentina, I got into some trouble. I started fighting a lot in the streets with a group of guys. My friends, you know, were pretty rough, so we would go out to the clubs, and then after the clubs, they had like other groups of guys we would find, and we would all fight. And so we got in some trouble. A couple guys got sent to the hospital. A couple guys got arrested.
But why was that?
I didn't get arrested, but they kind of knew that there was, because I was the only American in the city.
Yeah.
So they knew there was.
No, I mean you wanted to argue. You felt
no, it was
violent.
just my friends were fighting, so I helped them. You know. It's
Okay.
like, I didn't really have anything against. There was one guy I had something against because he beat me up with his friends. He found me alone on the street one time at like 6 in the morning. We finished our the club. You know, we had some breakfast at a local cafe, and I was living on a different part of town from my friends, so I was walking alone, and he followed me with like 4 other guys. Yeah. And the 5 of them just kicked the shit out of me. So. I heard like they were just yelling at me like I did something, you know, I don't know, didn't really understand. I didn't speak very good Spanish at the time. So afterwards I heard like different reasons that I danced with some girl who he thought was his girlfriend, but she said he was his ex-girlfriend, I don't know. So it doesn't matter, but after that my friends were like, well, so what are you going to do about it? I was like, well, what should I do? And they're like, well, we're going to see him at this club. And what you have to do, you go up and you punch him the first time, and then we're all gonna jump in and we'll beat him and his friends up.
Fight Club.
So it was great. Yeah, I was nervous at first. I'd never really gotten in a fight at that point. And so they gave me a bunch of shots. So of course the program that I was with, Rotary International.
What was about the program?
It's just a student exchange program. I mean, it's Rotary is like a charity.
Charity, okay.
For all these old rich people who have too much money, they don't know what to do with it. You know, they donate it to students so they can. You know. It's nice because you get to travel for a year into another place, and you live with a family there, and they take care of all your costs. You know, the only costs you have are the airplane tickets, and beer.
Okay.
Other than that, you're fine. So then I got kicked out of the country.
What
after
city?
About 10 months. I was living in Belleville, which is near Córdoba.
Oh.
I got kicked out of Argentina. Basically, they were like, yeah, we don't need you here anymore, causing too much trouble. So I left, I went back home, but I didn't want to be back home either. So I decided I was going to go study Arabic. And the best place I found to study at the time was Syria. This was in 2010, so it was just
before the war.
Before the war, it was about 6 months before the war. I studied in Syria.
But you had Syrian papers from your dad or something?
No. I just have an American passport.
Okay.
My mother's family comes from Lebanon. I probably could have a Lebanese passport, but it's not really that useful to have, so it's not really it.
You have a passport from Norway also? No. Okay.
I maybe could do that too. The problem is, it's a lot of paperwork. I just haven't gone for it. Who knows? So, I went to Syria to study. I got a job. I was working in Argentina as a lifeguard to make extra money. I got a job in Syria as an extra in they were doing a lot of filming there because it's a cheap location.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so whenever they needed Western looking people, you know, blonde people or whatever it was, they got me and they asked me to go to the university where I'm so sorry.
Opa.
I'll get you another coffee. It was great to work in Syria because every film was different. So we did a TV show where we all had to fight. We had like a European group and an Arab group. We were all fighting with swords, dressed up as crusaders. Then we had a film that was a Russian-directed film about apartheid, South Africa, where a bunch of white guys got shot. I got to get...
Sorry. And one bottle of water, please.
Yes, a bottle and another coffee.
Yes.
We were sitting at a cafe, and a bunch of black guys came up in a Jeep and shot us all with AK-47s. That was fun. It's nice. It's fun to get to pretend to die. You know, you're not supposed to be super dramatic about it, like a Shakespearean.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. But we had to do the take a bunch of different times. So they had a watermelon that was rigged with a small amount of explosives, so that it would appear that it was shot and it blew up. And on one of the takes, I don't know which one they used actually, but I was running and I was passing the watermelon and they exploded the watermelon and I just got splashed with watermelon in my ears, down my shirt. Like I just get it's imagine if somebody just threw half a watermelon at me. So I was covered in watermelon juice. Took me a couple of showers to get it all off. But that was lots of fun. Sort of shocking when I started hearing about the beginning of the Civil War or Revolution, whatever you want to call it. I left in September and it started in February 2011, so not long after, and it was really quiet because, in a dictatorship like that, nobody's allowed to criticize the regime.
Yeah.
So any dissent you have, anybody who is, disagrees with what's going on, they don't talk about it because you disappear. But at the same time, it's very safe for tourists and everything like that because there's no robbers. Nobody's going to steal your stuff because if they catch you, you can get killed. The police. It's actually the only place that I was ever arrested.
Cold? Fresh?
I went to jail in Syria for a night.
What?
I went to jail for bar fighting. I got up and the friend of the guy who had started the fight was smoking a cigarette. And everybody's fighting and he's just sitting there smoking a cigarette, like right next to them. But nobody...
I could be this guy in my
God.
life.
So I basically, in my mind I was like, you're not allowed to smoke a cigarette right now, like you're part of the problem. So I punched him and I remember his cigarette flying away. I remember the looping of the burning cherry as it went. So the fight lasted a few minutes and all of a sudden there's police everywhere. And these are Syrian police. Here you might get some police with some pistols or something. These guys have Kalashnikovs, AK-47s, and yelling in Arabic, get down on the ground, all this, they throw us on the ground, on hoods of cars, handcuff us. I was terrified. I was like, so I hadn't really thought about the consequences, right? So we're all frozen, we don't want to, nobody's gonna do anything. So we're sitting there all together, they line us up, they march us down to the police station, and they throw us all in the same room, the same cell. The guys we were fighting, the guys, we were friends with, the German guys, we all were thrown in the same room. And we kind of separated on opposite sides of the room and we hunkered down, and I actually fell asleep pretty quickly. So we were just lucky. We could have had so much more trouble. They said, we have your passport numbers, we have your names. If you get in trouble again, you're going to be in serious shit, but we're going to give you a break this time. And they let us go. And I think that Palestinian Syrian guys actually were locked up for 2 weeks or so. That was the rumor that I heard. I didn't see them.
But were you always fighting?
I'm not. I don't think I'm a violent person. I just get caught up in situations. I've been in a lot of fights in my life, but it's mostly
Bad companies.
I don't think that is the issue is that bad companies.
You think I'm looking for it?
No, but we create the world how we want.
Think so?
Yes. We
I
choose people.
think-
We create the
all-
situations. So we have a responsibility, don't you think?
Sure. Okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
In Morocco, alcohol is a weird thing because it's technically illegal to drink or sell or anything. But okay, so I've never actually read the law in Morocco, but this is what everybody says. It's illegal, but you can actually buy it in the Carrefour, in the supermarket, or in a lot of smaller places, and you can even drink it, in bars and on the street. And the police just seem to look the other way. I don't know. I think it's just one of those laws that's just technically a law, but nobody really seems to follow. But in any case, some of the older bars, like the cheaper local bars, they tend to be hidden. They're not like here on the street with a big terrace. You go down a back alleyway and you find this bar that almost looks like a house, but there's some guys in there drinking. That's where you get, good prices and everything like that. There are tourist bars that are almost like this, but because they're tourist bars, they're kind of protected. Cops can't really touch them. So I was going to meet him in one of the back alley bars, and I was kind of hobbling along. I had my violin with me.
Again with your violin.
I always have my violin. And I was walking to meet him at this bar, and I was a bit late already. And I turned into the alleyway where the bar was, and I saw a man just slapping a girl, like really hard in the face, over and over. And I just froze in shock. Like I'm kind of feeling sort of self-pity, a little bit sick, walking to the bar, like in my own head, And I just saw this, and I was just, I froze. And there's no way you can't do anything. So I put my flip-flops on the side. I put my violin in like a little garden that was right there. So it was, just in case, it would get damaged in the fight. And I ran up and I started yelling at this guy in Arabic, Ibn al-Haram, qaf, you have to stop. And he turned around and he looked at me like, who the fuck are you? And he came towards me with his fists up, and I kind of backed off. I was,
Why you didn't fight again?
Well, that comes up.
Tell us
right
something
So when he comes back to his, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or what, and I just jumped on him. Started punching him, and I put him in a chokehold.
What did the gang do?
I don't know. I was focused on this now.
Have you ever fallen in love?
I don't think you can ever really answer that question properly.
Why?
Because it's not a binary thing, right? It's not like you're in love or you're not in love. It's how much in love are you?
I agree, but from some point and more, you're like really deeply in love.
So tell me where that point is.
I don't know. I mean, I can describe it, but anyone knows that for himself.
See, I think people are making it up. I think there's this old saying, I think it's from British philosopher Bertrand Russell. He said, the greatest tragedy, I'm paraphrasing, the greatest tragedy in this world, the greatest tragedy in the world is that ignorant people are so certain and intelligent people are so full of doubt.
Yeah, I know it.
And it's, I think, very true that the more you think you know something, the less you actually know.
This is what also Socrates said.
Yes, I mean the Greeks started it all, didn't they?
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, but in love, I mean, you.
People talk about physical sensations. You have all these writers, but writers, their whole job is to make everything seem a bit more romantic than it is. I know that one time this girl told me via text, very unexpectedly, I never expected it, that she never wanted to see me again. And I went outside and threw up in the street.
Really?
Just vomited right in the gutter. Because it was such a shock, to my system.
I mean, that was your girlfriend or something?
It's, no.
Travelers can have girlfriends?
it was a complicated thing. She was had recently left like a long, like a 2 or 3 year relationship, and so she told me she didn't want any commitment, and so I interpreted that as we're free to see other people.
So you
We were
are.
living in different cities in Ireland.
She was Irish.
She was Irish, and we never really talked. But we would hang out once every weekend, every 2 weeks, this kind of thing. We'd spend a couple of days together. But she was studying, I was working, so we had different lives. We just came together, you know, at times. And the week before I left, she asked me if I'd been seeing any other girls.
And you said
And
yes.
I said yes, because obviously she was the most important girl in my life at that time. But there were lots of temptations around, and I was, and she told me many times that she didn't want to make a commitment because she was just out of this long relationship, and she thought, it's we can be.
Can I give an advice to a traveler?
What's that?
To a traveler without long enough relationships? Women never mean what they say.
Yeah, well, that's your problem, isn't it? It's not mine.
Could be yours.
Well,
But anyway.
in this case, it was my problem. There's another theory about. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so she reacted a bit badly, but she didn't say anything. She didn't say. We were at her parents' house for the weekend, and we had a nice weekend together, and it was grand. And then I was gonna spend my last week with her. Actually, I traveled down to Cork to her city to see her, and I stayed the first night in a hostel because her roommates weren't my biggest fans. Actually, I went on a rant one time about how there were so many unoccupied buildings and so many homeless people, and I thought the homeless people should be allowed to stay in the buildings for very cheap or for something like this, or make some government program. And they were kind of snooty rich girls, and they thought I was being
Communist.
yeah, something, I don't know. So they weren't my
Rebellion.
biggest fans anyway. So she was like, why don't you stay in a hostel for the first night, and I'll talk to my roommates and you can come over later. And so I stayed in the hostel, and in the morning I woke up to a text like, I don't want to see you again, because I'd been seeing other girls I'd slept with some other girls in Galway. And I was shocked, like I had no idea, because I had just traveled, 6 hours to spend my last week with her, and man, I had a hard time with that.
Swing.
I need to take my sangria and then.
Is there any?
And then
and my last name is Emadinil. I'm an Iranian. We are both Iranian. We came here in Portugal, Porto, on February 2011. I arrived first, and 1 month after, my wife and my daughter, they joined me. The purpose that I did, I traveled here. We decided to experience a new world, a new culture, but in a good way, not in a working situation like immigration, like traveling without any reason. No, with a purpose. So we decided, okay, the good purpose for us is higher education, going and gaining more experiences related with our knowledge and to improve and increase our knowledge, and also being familiar with new culture. I did my Bachelor of Degree or Licenciatura in Iran, and I worked in a company, in an institute. I worked in a research institute for 11 years in my field, related with my field. My field, I studied metallurgical engineering. And okay, for going to study in a higher rank, we need a scholarship. But it was difficult to find a scholarship for a master degree. Okay, for PhD it was easier, but for master it was difficult. So we have to be on our own. And we decided to go find one country in Europe. And first we decided, okay, it should be in European Union due to the standards and quality of life. And since it was difficult to find a scholarship, and I have family to support, and I had a limited budget, so we found Portugal, among other European Union countries with a low living cost and with a good, acceptable quality of life. And then I searched for university, and I found, okay, there were some universities in international rankings that were good, like University of Porto, like Coimbra, Aveiro, Lisbon. And I had a friend who had already come here as a PhD student, so I talked to him and he was happy coming here. So I applied for a master's degree and I was accepted, and we came here after doing the process, because we had to send documents to the embassy of Portugal in the capital, in Tehran, and we received the visa, and I came here. And when I applied for the visa, I told them, okay, I think according to European Union, family is important, so I appreciate if you give me a family visa. And it took 1 month, and they joined me. And I did my master, it took 2 years. And meanwhile, I asked for a grant or work position. Since I didn't speak Portuguese, it was difficult to find a job.
I started to do his PhD, and I started my master in intercultural communication. And yeah, that's it. We made some friends here in Portugal, the Portuguese people. Actually, we loved it. They're nice friends. And now I'm waiting, and I'm looking for a PhD to start my PhD. But of course, I have the same problem. I need to have a scholarship.
Yeah, I have a scholarship. I'm doing a PhD on a scholarship, and my scholarship will be finished in July. It's already 4 years, so until now it's 3.5, and I should defend my thesis in until July. And I started writing. But if you'd like to find out about our experiences, first we wanted to find out a new culture and be familiar with people. So I tried in the university, but my classmates, they were almost 15 years younger than me, so it was difficult for them. And since the age was different, the way of
Different generation.
so it was difficult to be friends with them. On the other side, I try to make friends with my professors, but again, since they were my teachers, they were conservative. They didn't accept to be so close.
Generally,
Okay?
Portuguese people are not really open to make friends with foreigners.
Really?
They are conservative.
I
What we
have
found.
the opposite opinion.
Actually,
Yes.
so at the beginning they are okay. They welcome you warmly, kindly. But to go on and continue if you want to work with them, or if you want to study with them, or you have some common interest, it would get really difficult to continue. This is my
They are helpful. They are
But I
helpful.
think they
If
think
you
that
ask
you need
anytime,
help.
any help, they are
They help.
free. They help. But they are conservative in terms of friendship. In terms of, okay, going closely. Maybe since our culture is different, we are coming from Middle East, from another culture. Okay, maybe that is why. But the point of view are different. But in our point of view, they are conservative. And different.
From which city are you in Iran?
Isfahan. Isfahan.
Esfahan. We both from
The
Esfahan.
capital is Tehran.
Yes.
We are from Isfahan.
Okay.
Esfahan is, are you filming? Esfahan is a historical city. You can find beautiful monuments. For example, here, the azuleiros, the ceramic tiles are very famous. In my country also, we have beautiful buildings since it's a Muslim country. So we have, you can find mosques there. And they are covered with beautiful ceramic tiles. And in that ceramic tiles, you can find different colors. Not
You are
only
Muslims?
blue.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. We are Muslim, but we believe, I and my wife, we believe in mutual respect. For us,
Actually, we were born Muslims. We were born Muslims. When you, in our religion, it's like this. When you are born with your religion, so you are from that
Muslim.
religion.
You have
But now,
there is no
we-
choice to select your religion. According to our rules, if you change your religion, it's not acceptable for the society.
For Christians, in the same.
It's the
really?
same.
But yes, but I don't find it very democratic.
Yes, it's
I'm Christian Orthodox, but
You
don't
were born.
practice. You were born as an Orthodox.
yes.
In a
But I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Actually, now I always tell my friends that my religion is respecting other people. If it is possible, helping other people, and to living peacefully with people from different cultures, with different religions, and with different ideas. I don't mind if a person is Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or atheist, without believing in anything. As soon as you like people, you respect people, and you live with them peacefully. So this is my religion. I don't know what I made it.
Did you have a job in Iran?
In
Job.
Iran.
job, yes,
He was engineer.
I was an engineer. I'm an engineer. I was, and I worked in an institute, research institute center for 11 years.
And you?
I was an English teacher.
And here, since you came here, you're doing the same jobs.
No, actually, I haven't been able to get a job as an English teacher because there are lots of English people living here, and there are many Portuguese people who have studied teaching English. So I haven't been really lucky to get a job.
And you're working now?
No,
No.
it's not easy. And when we ask for a job, they say, "Oh, Portuguese people don't have jobs."
And,
So
and you know, I don't like that she does everything. I don't like that she goes and work as a waitress. No,
Yeah.
if I wanted to work as a waitress, okay, we had better
would
position
prefer.
in our country. So we came here, and I want to live in a better situation.
Yeah, I
So
understand.
that is why it's better not to work. I don't like.
Yeah.
Me too. If I can get a job as an English teacher or to work in an institute to work in my subject in intercultural communication on cultures, studies, yeah, I would start working. But if Not, no, I'm at home.
Okay. And the economical conditions are better here or in your country?
Normally, when I came here, I found the quality of life. Before that, I was not familiar with the term of quality of life. So when I came here, I thought, oh no, the quality of life here is paid attention. For example, I will bring you a simple example. The buses on the street, when they stop on the station, the height of the bus and the height of the pedestrian, they are at the same altitude. You don't need to climb up big steps, okay? And handicaps are people, they can easily enter, and they have some priorities on the buses from the entering or for the exit.
Here, you say for here.
Yeah.
Yes, for here. So when I'm here telling the positives, it means that I already didn't see these positive points in my country. Or the public transportation, the timetable is precise. You can find it on the internet. Unfortunately, internet in my country is limited. Here is not limited. There's no limitation at all. It's available. You can find in different places free Wi-Fi, but there no. It's under the control of the government.
But it has actually, living far from the country can have both sides, positive and negative sides.
Yeah, of course.
So when you live in your own country, so you speak your own language, you live with your family members, so if you need them, they are available. And about us in our country, because we had our apartments, we didn't rent an apartment, so we had our cars, we had our job, we had really, thank you. We had our lives, and but we decided to change. So we decided to change, and that change was important to us because we didn't feel that we had democracy. I mean, we weren't free to talk about our government, to criticize them.
Really?
Yeah. So, and just the only reason we decided to change to move to another country was that, and as my husband told, we wanted to have a decent reason, not to leave the country and to be in, so to ask for asylum and to stay in a camp. No, it wasn't. It didn't work for us. We wanted to change. We wanted to experience living in a democratic country. So, and of course we.
But living like Europeans.
Of course, yeah, we had some criteria, so we, according to our conditions, we came here. But of course, it was really difficult because of the, for example, we come from Iran, and energy is not as expensive as here, so we didn't pay that much money for electricity, for water, for gas. You have natural gas now.
How is the economy in your country?
Actually, it's not going well because of the sanctions over the country. They are, I mean, my country or our government has been investing on nuclear energy, and they weren't really frank with the international institutes and other countries. So they started monitoring the country, and they found that there was something wrong. At the beginning, my country, Iranian politicians, didn't let them to enter, and because of that,
To monitor the situation, you know, in my country, in Iran, a revolution happened in 1978. Yeah, we already had a monarchy. Okay, they had a monarchy for almost 3,000 years, and then the monarchy was finished, and a revolution happened, and then it changed to well, let's say at that time people thought that it was a democracy and democracy, but then they added, because we Iranian people, I'm not talking myself, I'm not religious guy, but most people, they are religious. And for them it was also important, okay, to include the rules of Islam in the constitution. So they changed the name of the country is Islamic Republic of Iran. So it's a mixture of democracy and Islamic law. Anyhow, its majority is controlled by the mullahs, apples, so they are religious people, like Pope and like church. So the mosque is controlling the country now, and it's, let's say, it's theocracy, it's not democracy.
Yeah.
And we had, since the beginning, unfortunately, some stupid people in my idea, they attacked the Embassy of America, and they took hostage American diplomats in the American embassy for almost 2 years. And it was a bad situation. And at that time, Iraq, Saddam Hussein, also he was a mad person, and he had strange ideas to develop his country, his land. So he attacked Iran, and Iraq was supported at that time by USA and other countries. And we had war for 8 years. And so it was a bad situation.
To conclude the situation, there are some sanctions on country, so the economy isn't going well.
Mainly comes the sanctions from United
Yeah,
States.
from the United States, and people are not free to make business with foreigners, and foreign companies
International relation is
don't
poor.
invest in our country because they think it's not safe, so it's not going. But for us, the situation was stable. We had our salaries, and it was okay for us.
How is the equality about two genders?
Actually, as I was told, we are Muslims, and our rules have been written according to Islamic rules, that we can say. They don't have the same rights. For example, the divorce right is men have right to divorce their wives.
But
To divorce their wife, to divorce. The custody goes for dads, not for moms.
however, if the dad is addicted,
Yeah.
if the dad cannot support the family,
Yeah.
if
Can't
the
afford.
dad cannot afford, even
He's
even
not the,
even
healthy
mentally
person.
or even sexually, if a man cannot support the wife sexually, the woman has
Can
rights,
ask
can go to the court and
divorce.
ask for the divorce.
Oh, okay.
But for inheriting, women receive half of what men receive. Yeah, there are some. For
And
example,
in
we don't
insurance-
have permission to leave the country. We should have permission from our husbands, or if you are not married, from our dads. If a person doesn't have a dad, her brother or
Grandfather,
grandfather.
uncle,
Yeah.
Yeah. I see.
and insurance, for example, in comparing women rights and men rights, insurance
Are different.
are different. For example, if a woman dies in an accident, she will receive half a man from the insurance company. Okay, so
Cool.
Yeah.
I did my master in communication sciences, and my branch was culture, heritage, and sciences. I chose to study this subject because I meant to study about cultures. But then during my master time, I didn't study a lot about cultures, so I thought I could do my dissertation on culture. I read different materials, and I decided to work on intercultural communication. But to narrow the subject, I had to choose a case, so I decided to work on international students. First, because there were Erasmus students in Portugal, and Portugal is one of the countries that is really active in this field and program. And second, because it was easier. I didn't speak in Portuguese, just fluently, I mean. So I decided to speak with international students because they can speak in English. But I chose to work on this subject because I wanted to study about culture. Actually, but if the University of Porto wanted to use the information, I was ready to help them, but they didn't want.